This call is being recorded.
This is the Tuesday, June 27th Mastermind call, and today we're going to get inside the head of Napoleon Hill, and there's no person that knows that better than Don Green, the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And so with that in mind, I'm going to share with you a recording that I think will give you an idea of this philosophy and what I can't stress enough. And in my conversations with Don, what Don made perfectly clear is that at this juncture in human evolution, there is no other method that has been proven to work like the secret shared in Think and Grow Rich. And as Napoleon Hill said, it doesn't require a great deal of hard work. However, what it does require is everlasting persistence in using the principle of autosuggestion, in repeating to yourself the statement of the things that you want, of your definite purpose, your goal, if you will, until that goal becomes something that you believe in and will begin acting on. For some of us, it takes longer than others. Why? Because of our limiting beliefs, because of our past conditioning. It took Alan 2 years, on average, to accomplish his goals. Why? Well, if you have been born with one leg, one hand, and had been the subject of ridicule and insults and feeling unloved and cursed by the gods, well, that has a little bit of an impact on your subconscious mind and your belief system about yourself, your confidence. Because at the end of the day, this is about confidence. And what's going to give you confidence, which is just faith in yourself, is your willingness to stop with the bullshit excuses that you buy into every day and commit yourself to doing your statement a minimum of 5 times, of having affirmations, of having a program of personal development, so that every day you're feeding your mind the thoughts that are going to help you accomplish your goal, as opposed to what happens without that input, which is the negative thoughts of society and people in general. Because you're being influenced by people that are conditioned negatively. They're conditioned by their mother and father, sister and brother, the society, by their past mistakes and failures. They're not the best influence for you. The reason that 3% of the people are successful in this world is because 3% of the people are willing to do this: take control of their minds and stop listening to the negative influence of others. That's really the key. It's not about being born with wealth or a silver spoon in your mouth. It's about taking control of your mind and realizing that it's up to you and that you can have anything you want in life if you're willing to pay the price of persistence. And so with that in mind, let me share with you this incredible recording. I think you'll love it.
Imagine having the opportunity to step into the mind of the late great Napoleon Hill. Hello everybody, we're right here at the headquarters of the Napoleon Hill Foundation with the CEO himself, Don Green, who's going to give us a private behind-the-scenes tour, a journey, so to speak, of what it was like to walk a day in this great man's shoes. First of all, thanks for letting us take a look, and I gotta say, there's amazing things around here, and I was looking around the shelves, and I happened to find this, a Think and Grow Rich book, but more importantly, it's one autographed by the man himself. I guess you don't have too many of these laying around, do you?
We got a few of them. He signed these, as you can see, it's still got the advertising piece in it. It was from the archives. Hill died in 1970, so he signed a bunch of them before he passed away. I think it's interesting about him is that people don't realize, but his name is actually Oliver Napoleon Hill. And he did his first writings as Oliver, even when he went to work for Bob Taylor. And he dropped the Oliver and just started going by Napoleon Hill. By the time he published his first magazines in 1919, he was strictly going as just Napoleon Hill.
These little blue books right here, would you share with everyone what those are?
Yeah. When he was working in Atlanta, Georgia, in human resources for a company called Lee Torno, he worked for them because they were trying to unionize. They were having personnel problems, and they hired him in human resources. He wrote all books, 17 of them, on the principle of success, and he refers to them in his writings as mental dynamite.
Now, one of the greatest releases that the Foundation's put out in its generation is Outwitting the Devil. I mean, it's been an international success story with Sharon Lecter, but I guess this is the original manuscript that it came from.
That's it.
So this is what he actually typed with his hands.
Manual typewriter.
Wow, one finger at a time, by the way I do it.
No L.B. Smith typewriter.
Absolutely amazing. This must be priceless. Well, I gotta tell you, when I was going through a lot of the different gems you have here, this has got to be my all-time favorite. In fact, I think I might even sneak this one out when I get out of here. This right here is one of the Think and Grow Rich editions where they were making some changes to it, as you told me, and he actually went through and made his personal notes of what could be left in and what should be left out. I mean, this is just absolutely a priceless gem.
That's the reason that the 37 edition is about 100 pages more than the book that's traditionally published today, though we publish it in both current and the 37 edition. That was the book that was edited personally by Hill to get the edition that we have today.
Yeah, I'd say this. You have a lot of priceless things around here, but this has got to be, in my opinion, the greatest one you've got.
Hill founded the Napoleon Hill Foundation in 1962. He's 79 years old. And for the public out there that don't know, Hill left all the books to the foundation. And there's stories out there that Hill died broke. He wrote the material but didn't do it. Here's a guy who had his ups and downs. But when he died, his stuff went to Andy Lou, except for the books, worth a fortune. They went to the foundation because he wanted a nonprofit set up. It wasn't very active because I said he was 79 years old. But I have visited Hill's will. She had more than $1 million in cash, and she never worked. So it all come from Hill, and she had a lot of other assets, real estate, stocks, and so forth. So no, he didn't die broke.
One of the greatest things that you do, Don, is you're an avid note taker. In fact, I guarantee in your top pocket, you got a 3x5 index card so you can remember who you spoke to and what was said. What do you do with all that content?
I accumulate them, especially if the fact is, I think that it's someone that I'll be contacting again later, and it's just a refresher, and I can refer back to what was said and so forth, and it just comes in very nice as a follow-up.
We've been out on a family field trip, so to speak. We saw incredible things, Don. Now, most people don't know this, but he's got an abundance of material. You said he started writing at, what, 13 years old?
13.
And then he stopped writing at what age?
Well, about 84, he was active. He lived to be 87, but he had some health problems. He actually published one book, You Can Work Your Own Miracles. It was published a year after he died. And by the way, it's a long time ago, surpassed 1 million sales in English alone.
That's amazing. And what I loved about it is we got to go to the storage facility. And you said there's quite a few of these, but boy, we did some digging in there. And I could not believe what we discovered. Imagine feeling like a kid in a candy store. Oh my. We just opened up a storage facility, the archive, so to speak, of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And we have no idea what's inside. Don, just show us what goodies you got for us.
Well, let's see. This is real from in Hollywood, California. It's real number 2.
Wow, look at that. Acme Film Laboratories. Like the Wile E. Coyote or something like that. Over here, you also have amazing items. Right here, you got cassette tape, Napoleon Hill selling you the original audio version of it. What do you do when you just stumble across these things? I mean, it just must be amazing.
We continuously take the old films and the old tapes and convert them to CDs or DVDs for just to preserve them. Because like Hill had a radio program during World War II when he left Georgia and went to Hollywood, California. He had a program, a Sunday afternoon program with Warner Brothers, where people could call in and get questions, and we have those on audio.
All I know is going back here is you've got boxes and boxes, cases and cases. I have nothing but golden gems inside. Can't wait to do a little bit of digging. I think I'm going to have to take my jacket off for this one. I can't believe it. That freeway marker that you helped erect in the honor and the legacy of Napoleon Hill, will you tell us about it?
Yeah, Greg, it's one of my goals to get the Virginia State Historical Society to erect a marker in Hill's name. It's just great for him to be recognized. I know he was the first individual to be recognized in Wise County, and I believe he's the only author to be recognized in the state of Virginia.
Wow, absolutely amazing. And I gotta tell you, it looked fantastic. It's all the cars passing by. I wonder how many pull over and really take a look.
It's on US 23 North as you leave Wise.
You can't miss it. Also, we took a field trip to Pound, a little town called Pound. And what people might not know is that this is where Napoleon Hill was actually born.
Yes, he was born in a little one-room log cabin.
Wow.
And very primitive. The stone fireplace served as both cooking and heating. Very primitive.
And also, there's a monument constructed for him in his name, in his honor, with some other elite people. So much so that you commissioned a mural to be made. What made you do that?
Well, I just thought it was an honor for him. There had been some done. I heard some of the ladies in the Historical Society mention it, and it just seemed like the thing to do.
Oh, I gotta tell you, it turned out fantastic. It really did. And we also had a chance to go on a little field trip to the schoolhouse. Could you tell us about the schoolhouse?
The schoolhouse is up on what we call Laurel Grove. And at that time, school wasn't mandatory. We had the first schools in 1875. One room. Most of the teachers had very limited amount of education because at that time, boys went to work and girls got married. And there was a little emphasis put on education.
Now, I understand that Napoleon Hill started writing when he was 13 years old. Do you think he got his education, majority from that little structure?
Yeah, I think so. His stepmother was an educated person. She was a widow of a high school principal, and her dad was a doctor. She traded his gun at age 13 for a typewriter and taught him how to type, and he started typing little stories, news events, and he once said when he wasn't in the news, he made some news up.
I love it. And then we had a chance to go to one of his icons' property, General Ayres. Now, I love this story because he wanted to surround himself with the most powerful people who are getting the results that he wanted for himself. So he actually volunteered to work for free, basically being an apprentice. What'd you make of that?
And I know he picked him because he was no doubt the richest man in the county. This was a guy that was buying 10,000 acres of land at one time, and he wanted to go for him because of his wealth, and he wrote him a letter offering to work for him for free. He wanted him to learn on his way, not just have someone pay him. He wanted to learn why some people were successful and others were not, and that's why he spent his lifetime defining.
Now, let's talk about where we ended up off our journey today, over at the cemetery. And we looked at some of the tombstones. Who did we have an opportunity to go visit?
Well, the first one was his mother. His mother died before she was 25 years old. Hill had not had his 8th birthday. It had to be a tragedy. But he said it actually turned into a blessing because about 1 year later, his dad married a widow woman who was educated. And she took a liking to him and mentored him. And he said later about his stepmother, almost the identical thing that Lincoln said about his stepmother. He said, anything I ever am or aspire to be, I owe to that dear woman. She always had faith in him. And then we visited the grave of his father, who was a local dentist, also his brother Paul, and his stepmother.
I just think it's really neat that you are keeping that legacy alive, Don. I mean, it's absolutely amazing that somebody would take it their personal responsibility and duty to make sure that this legacy lives on. I mean, it's fabulous. And here's what I like. We get to go to the next room, your library, so to speak, and take a little look around. I want to say thanks again for giving us this opportunity to have a little sneak peek into the day in the life of Napoleon Hill. I know there's a lot of versions of Think and Grow Rich. In fact, it's public domain, yet there's only one official Think and Grow Rich version from the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And I gotta say, it's really neat that you've also had it done in many different languages around the world. Right here's a collection of some of them. Give us an example.
Here's one done in China.
Holy smokes, look at this right here. I mean, J.B. Hill, is that J.B.?
That's J.B.
This is Napoleon Hill's grandson, J.B. Hill. It's good to see you. I got a question for you. When you were a kid, weren't you given a copy of Think and Grow Rich by your grandfather?
Yeah, but it wasn't the Chinese edition.
You could actually read it.
He actually handed it to me. He put it in my hands. And in Greenville, South Carolina, my parents had taken me up to meet my granddad. And as we were leaving, he came down to the car. He was wearing a white shirt, no coat, no tie. First time I've ever seen him without a coat and tie. And he handed me the book and said, read it.
Well, later in life, I understand you actually started not only reading the book, but you started applying the principles into your own personal life.
Well, I read it that year. It didn't mean anything to me. But later, at a time when I needed the book, I saw it at the Piggly Wiggly in Jacksonville, North Carolina, in a checkout stand. And I picked the book up and took it home and read it. I read it twice that weekend, and I decided I'd do what my grandfather told me to do, which is apply that philosophy.
Well, you can end this whole segment here at the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Why don't you do us a favor and tell our audience, of all the takeaways that you've had from this incredible journey, what's the biggest one that's made the biggest impact in your life?
But it's up to me. And if I'm going to change my life, it's going to be up to me.
That's right. Remember that. You literally could be just 3 feet from gold.
All right, so that was interesting. So let's have somebody volunteer to do their statement this morning. So who would like to go ahead and start by doing their statement? And let me share this with you that if you don't do your statement, there's no reason for you to be on these calls anymore. You need to get it through your head that this is critical, and over any fears or doubts or worries or indecision about saying your statement. So who would like to go first?
This is Jody. I'll go.
Thank you, Jody.
Let me just put the headphones on.
Sure.
I am so happy and grateful now that I am a member of the board of directors of a privately held company in tech telecom with revenues of $500 million by this day, August 31st, 2017. I'm a valued and respected member of the board, and in return, I provide innovative, out-of-the-box thinking, knowledge, support, and energy. In return, I receive referrals to other companies searching for board members through my peers on the board and the management team, and $50,000 a year in cash with 1% equity and annual grants of an additional 100,000 shares. Is there something better? And so it is.
All righty. Who else would like to go?
Oh, Cassandra.
Go ahead, Cass.
Okay. It is August 20th, 2017, and I, Cassandra Anderson, am so happy and grateful that I've received over $25,000 in my net income from property deals through my Oshana real estate investing business and other sources. I am the inspiration motivator. I create beauty and elegance where there was none, which creates massive wealth and prosperity for me, Sue, and my loved ones in very little time. In return for this, I act, live, and embody inspired transformation and confidence to help motivate others. I now see similar comps near my 2 homes suddenly selling for a very high price and shooting my ARV up massively. On each of my homes to self-release $25,000 more profit than I originally thought. I inspire trust and motivate those close to me and those who work with me while I attain inner confidence as a real estate entrepreneur by using my innate gifts and talents. Thank you, God. It is done.
It is done. All righty. Who else would like to go? All right, I'll go. It is my birthday, February 20th, 2018, and I, Bert Superman Hernandez, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am receiving over $100,000 in monthly residual income from my global enterprise businesses. I easily and effortlessly accomplish all my tasks, which includes creating an imperative important list daily, 20 contacts per day, 10 presentations per day, and 15 new clients per week, thus ensuring my success. I experience joy each day knowing that what I'm doing is being of service to others and to myself. I am a young, vibrant, handsome, attractive, and super sexy man of action. I am a lean, fit, muscular, 170-pound man that works out at least 3 times per week without fail. I am disciplined, organized, scheduled, responsible, punctual, single-minded, and laser-focused leader who completes all my tasks. I am a worthy, deserving, gorgeous, and beautiful man that is open to receive all that has been given to me and more. I am a great listener, flexible, understanding, and patient in dealing with others. As a result of my concentrated effort and sustained enthusiasm, I am now experiencing unparalleled love, joy, happiness, fun, romance, time and financial freedom, abundance, peace of mind, and excellent health. I enjoy the believable pleasure of driving my new lunar metallic blue with a Burlwood trim Mercedes-Benz SL 550 convertible down the sun-drenched, palm tree-laden roads of Clearwater Beach, Florida. I enjoy cruising the waterways and islands of the Caribbean in my new white with a black stripe Sea Ray 260 Sundancer, and I live a life of fun, adventure, and travel. By my birthday, February 20th, 2020, I am so happy and grateful now that my net worth is over $20 million. I thank you, God, for it is done. Okay, since you guys haven't been doing this, when the person says it is done, we follow by saying it is done. Okay? That gives the person verbal affirmation, which helps build belief. So let's try it again. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It is done. One more time. Let's get everybody on the call doing it. Okay? This is an interactive call, not passive listening. Stop being a spectator and be a participant. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It is done. Outstanding. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.